What really determines how much money you'll make in your lifetime? I'm about to share some insights from those who've been there, done that, hoping to give you something to chew on. Have you noticed how some folks around you who aren't as sharp as you somehow end up making way more dough than you do? The core reason behind this phenomenon is how deeply and quickly a person grasps the realities of life and wealth. It might sound a bit abstract, but what's the connection between making money and gaining insight? If you get this, it means you're already on the right track, likely with a pretty good paycheck to show for it. But for those still lost in the sauce, you might not even have stepped onto the money-making path yet. Their thinking is stuck in others' opinions, lacking the power of independent thought. The stuff I'm about to say might challenge your worldview. So if you can't handle the heat, you can bounce anytime. Just don't go dipping into your wife's wallet. Don't cling to those poor people's notions, because the rich don't waste time arguing over right and wrong. They only focus on what benefits them or what they stand to lose. Poor people, on the other hand, are all about what as key I was has fair or not. When poor folks chase wealth, the biggest roadblock is often their ingrained ideas and perceptions. If your mindset doesn't evolve, breaking through those old thought patterns is like trying to move mountains, even with divine help. If you've never made big bucks before or don't know how to make more, don't sweat it. With all the info out there today, you can always find a way to learn. But here's the kicker. Even when you know what to do, why can't you get it done? It's because you haven't truly grasped the concept, creating a gap between knowing and doing. Let me give you a simple example. Everyone agrees that to succeed, you need discipline and hard work, but how many actually pull it off? Why do we often lose steam after just 3 minutes? It looks like laziness, but it's really due to a lack of true understanding. Many haven't really thought deep about discipline. I had a coworker once who, early in his career, was all about late nights, setting rules on our work platform that he'd never get up early. If you're a late riser, you know how tough it is to get up with the birds. But living like that, your life turns into a mess, productivity tanks, and your mind gets foggy. He decided to change his habits, going to bed at 1 a.m., sharp and rising at 6 a.m. How'd he do it? One day he realized he wasn't some genius, just a regular Joe. For regular folks, the competition isn't just about talent. It's more about valuing hard work and discipline. That's the path to growth for the average person. So he started with discipline, gradually ditching his bad sleep habits. At heart, he was still the same guy, but the difference was whether he understood what needed doing. Think about those young folks around you with ordinary family backgrounds or little formal education who somehow end up rich. These people mature faster than their peers. While you're still dreaming of changing the world, they've got the world's ways figured out, knowing right from wrong. And they've started grinding to make money. Understanding comes in stages, from instinctual behavior to self-reflection to emotional control to aligning knowledge with action. Most people entering society operate on instinct, speaking without thinking, acting on feelings. They're comfortable at home, but can only shout or vent at others, offering nothing but complaints when problems arise. Meanwhile, those wiser kids have learned self-reflection. They mess up too, but they think about why, then quickly adjust. The essence of growth is changing behavior through reflection. They realize that blowing your top solves zilch, and arguing over who's right is pointless. Next, they accept their imperfections, manage their emotions, reduce internal conflict, and become more rational. They don't let external jabs or insults throw them off. Their focus stays on their goals. While you're chilling on the couch, may have been binge watching, they're exploring themselves, reflecting, correcting the misconceptions from their upbringing, understanding human nature and reality. They let go of burdens, interpret the world from a benefit-driven perspective, learn that sincerity begets genuine relationships, boosting their drive to act. This process also validates their insights, free from personal emotion or fantasy, ultimately achieving unity of thought and action. That's why, despite similar backgrounds, some make it big while you're still struggling. Sounds complex, right? But really, for the average person, understanding comes down to 3 steps. First, ignore distractions. Return to yourself. Shake off emotional interference. Ask yourself, am I controlling my emotions or are they controlling me? If you're always over, because like a little dog in your brain, the more negative emotions you have, the stronger it gets. For instance, you wake up, check your phone, and there's a flood of info, wars, disaster, friends' vacations, all sorts of annoying stuff. Each piece subtly messes with your mood. Learn to ignore this noise, return inward. Recognize you're an individual, not swayed by external info, clearing your mind, controlling your emotions. That's the foundation of enlightenment. If you can't even do that, how can you talk about wealth? Second, live in the moment. There's this story about a young monk asking an old monk what enlightenment feels like. The old monk replies, going up the mountain to chop wood, chopping wood to make fire, making fire to cook food. It's all about living in the now. Simple words, profound impact. Back in 1975, this American psychologist tracked many successful people and found that those who excelled at work weren't necessarily smarter or more emotionally intelligent. They could enter a state of flow. In this state, people often perform beyond their usual capabilities. You've probably felt this. You're swamped but feel fresh, or you do nothing but feel drained. That's flow. Living in the moment addresses emotional issues, but isn't enough for getting rich. You need to keep going to understand deeper truths. Third, see through to the essence. First, understand the relationship between cause and effect. Many fail in business not for lack of skill, but for missing the essence, scared by risks and uncertainties, not deeply analyzing complex issues. To see the essence, stop relying on unrealistic assumptions. Question everything and keep getting back up. Secondly, focus on the truth, not just the surface of financial news. For example, when investing, dive into a company's policies, market needs, and fundamentals, not just their financial statement. Summary, to go from broke to rich, start by following these 3 steps. Ignore distractions and return to yourself. Live in the moment and see the essence. I hope these insights help you rethink your thoughts and actions. That's all for today. For more, check out the homepage.